going on, guys? This is Mosh. This is our first episode ever. My name's David Longval, and I'm joined with...
Justin Curtis.
That's right. Both of us were in the Air Force, right?
Indeed. We were definitely in the Air Force.
So we'll go over how we came up with the name, right?
Yeah.
So I used to be the singer for a band called Eyes on Satellites from Boston, Massachusetts. Did that for almost a decade of yelling into a microphone. And then decided to start doing management and working with bands and helping bands. I started Silent Wave Management officially last year. I've been doing it for years, but just decided to finally do the LLC thing and make it official. So Silent Wave's been going great. And then we just decided to start doing a podcast together because Justin and I can't stay on the phone for less than an hour. So.
No shit. Yeah, pretty long.
And every time we talk, it's usually music related, military related, and we just have a lot in common when it comes to that. So we decided to do this together.
Yeah.
And yeah, so that's, Air Force, then went on to do music. And now, Justin, what's your story?
I'm Justin Curtis. I'm in a band called Worthy the Crown, out of Fort Walton Beach, Destin area in Florida. And shoot, what did I do? I joined the Air Force a long time ago. I'm not going to try and date myself too much. And then, I did like 9 years in the military and stationed with you at lodges, unbeknownst to both of us.
That's right.
And then what did I do? Shoot, got out of the military, started trying to get in bands, and then about 7 years ago, I started Worthy the Crown with Scott Richards originally, and then had to kind of retool all that sort of stuff, and found some new members, and played a show in Club LA, and then you saw a poster or some shit like that?
Yeah, so the reason we met is because I saw that Worthy of the Crown had played a show with Attila, and at the time I was at a show for Ice Nine Kills actually.
Yeah.
And I just came across the flyer and I saw that you guys were doing big things, and Eyes and Satellites was kind of on the same trajectory when I was in that band. So it was like I saw that they were on a show like that, and then I just started thinking like maybe I can help these guys out in some small way. And then we decided to meet up. We had lunch. Next thing you know, it was like 12 o'clock, and then we left at like 5 or something.
Dude, yeah. Freaking first time. Showed up for lunch, and it was dark when we left.
Yeah. It was cool. I mean, obviously, we knew we had a connection in some sort of way right off the bat. But then
our first date went great.
Right. We've been together since.
Yeah.
So, and then things are born out of that. So that's really cool. But yeah, I've been helping out Worthy with just decision making, silly things that come up, and
mentoring.
Yeah, in a way. Yeah,
because you've pretty much been already on the trajectory that we're trying to go. So usually any advice that you give is, I'm like, oh shit, you've been there before. Am I thinking straight? That's always my thing. It's like, am I making the right decision? Because I have no idea what the fuck I'm doing.
No, it is cool having like that outside vision of the band. Because when you're in the band, everything's kind of like you just see you're in this box kind of like this is how we usually do things. Yeah. And then you start you have somebody that comes in that's like maybe been there before. Yeah. Made the wrong decisions like I have. I've made a lot of wrong decisions, made a lot of right decisions, and that's why I decided to get into management in the first place anyway. So, and I'm not saying, it's weird for me, personally, just feeling like I deserve to be a manager. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because there's a part of me that's like, I wasn't signed, I wasn't on these big tours overseas or anything like that, but I still understand what goes into the work to get to that point. It's just I haven't been there personally. Yeah. You know what I mean? So
not only that, but it's stressful probably just knowing that 4 or 5 people are depending on your advice. And
for real.
and helping with their decision making. And if, you know, especially for lower level bands, you only have so much funds until you tap into your own personal funds, which sucks. And then, you know, this one wrong decision could be, you know, tap you out for the, you know, until your next show or to a couple of shows, depending, you know.
Yeah, you
get the
spend
wrong
all your
merch
money on
idea,
the
and then
wrong
you just
stuff.
got
Yeah, exactly.
You've got a box of 25, 30 shirts just chilling in your in some Tupperware and, you know, container, and not selling, and you're not making any money, and hard to record and do music videos and anything, you know, when you don't have money. So
yeah, I think that's one of the biggest things is just making those right decisions on whether you're spending money or your time, you know, because that's important as well. So, but and that's why we wanted to start doing this. So we will, I know, go off on a lot of tangents along the way, but I think most importantly, like, we wanted to start this Mosh Vets thing just to, like, tell our experiences, whether it be in the military or in music. Yeah. And I think the two kind of go hand in hand as far as, like, working as a team building, things like that, making the right decision. Because you as a firefighter in the Air Force and outside of the Air Force, like, those split decisions are really important. Yeah. And as much as, like, music, it's not really, like, split decisions, but it's just about making that right decision to better yourself and better the band and things like that and grow. So yeah, the teamwork thing, I think you can maybe attest to it as well. It's like, I didn't realize how many people don't know how to work as a team, like even in the military. Like, they sent me to a couple of courses where like NCO courses where you had to work as a team. They made sure everybody, like, came together as a team. I'm like, do you guys not know how to do this? like we do everything as a team in my job, you know, like from cleaning bathrooms to every aspect of the fire department, and anything I was involved in the military always involved a team, you know. And I think in, you know, basically, like, even like band members, I really don't think they realize just how much they're going to have to work as a team, and then there's a give and take throughout the whole thing. And, you know, as soon as you start getting selfish or thinking it's about you is when you start, I think, losing vision of what it's all about, I really think. Yeah, it blows my mind sometimes how people don't look at it as a team aspect, like it's almost like a sports team, you know. You've got your quarterback, you got your running back and all that, you know what I mean? You also need offensive linemen, everybody. And you need a coach, you know, to help you game plan and figure out what, you know, what direction you're going to go in for the day or for the month or year or whatever. So it takes a whole group. I guess it can be pretty difficult for some people to do that and figure that out. Not for real. Yeah. I guess that's our first topic there. Yeah, right. Dealing with work as a team, guys. Team building, and your community is a team, by the way, too. Like, other bands you shouldn't be in competition with each other. You should be all working together. You know, everybody can't have every show, but, you know, don't be pissed off somebody got a show. Be happy, you know, and then hopefully that means more shows come down the pipe. And, exactly. You know, no, one person gets an opportunity or something like that, you know, that next opportunity could go your way too. So. Yeah. Be happy that, you know, they got an opportunity. And people are paying attention to your area, because that's a big thing with here, and that's a good segue into like where we are right now. We're in Downtown Music Hall here in Fort Walton Beach. Ian, the owner, which we'll have on here for a show in the future, gave us this area to film, and kind of just gave us a key and told us we could set up anywhere. And which is crazy to think. But it's crazy to think, like, 2 years ago, I didn't know you, and I didn't know Ian all that well, and like 2 years later, you're helping with the venue, I'm helping with the venue, and we're able to, like, this is going to sound very negative, but, like, use the venue when I guess, you know, like, but we're not using the venue, but we can use the venue and, you know, set up things like this and, you know, bring a little bit of shine to our area and this venue that's, you know, a small business. Yeah, it's not totally about promoting ourselves in any sort of way. Like, I mean, obviously we want this to perform well and we want the podcast to go far. I mean, we have aspirations of doing interviews with other managers, other booking agents, club owners, things like that. So
bands, all sorts of stuff. Just people that have a story or people that want to talk, about the music industry and or, you know, their life story, you know, like ours is pretty common. We have a lot of similarities, but there's a lot of other differences as well.
I think our story is pretty unique too.
Yeah, well, yeah,
you know what I mean? Like,
it's pretty crazy that we went all the way around the world to meet in, you know, a sushi bar in Crestview, Florida, basically. You know what I mean? Like, that's pretty crazy. So
yeah, and we did talk about like military, but I think, you know, a lot of the decisions that we make in our bands and music and even in our personal lives, we break down in a very like militaristic.
Yeah, which could be difficult for normal civilians and working in the music industry because it's not.
Absolutely.
They don't have the same thought process, which, you know, I'm sure you work on and I work on as well. Like, you know, it's a little different when I go to my job, and then, you know, when you step out into the music industry, you have to work with people a little bit.
Yeah, you gotta try and like hold back on your.
You can't knife hand.
Yeah, right.
You can't knife hand. Yeah. You have to ease into it a little bit, which I'm working on every day.
Yeah.
Every day.
Yeah, it's actually so. Wow, have you met like a lot of veterans along your way in the music industry? Like outside of me, obviously, but like.
So yeah, I mean, like, it's tough. You know, I'm sure when you were in the military too, you know, you get kind of solely focused on there's a mission to be done, and you're constantly moving, which sucks. You know, so the second you get something going, you know, that you get hit with orders to go somewhere.
Absolutely, yeah.
Especially when I was in, you're looking at like 3 years in any one spot, 3 to 4 years, and then you're done. You know, I've been doing Worthy for 7 years now. Since 2016. And we had to replace all new members because of, you know, military, either guys separating or PCSing, which is moving to a different, if you guys don't know, moving to a different location. I mean, Scott is one of the original members. He's still in the band, and he's kind of our Nolly, like periphery. He's up in Connecticut, or not Connecticut. Where's he at?
Vermont.
New Hampshire, right? Burlington. Oh no, Vermont. Burlington, Vermont. Yeah. My bad, Scott. had a brain fart. And he's had to move up there, and we've had to kind of make it work with riding at a distance, which sucks. And he's bought a couple plane flights to come down here and get things done, which thank God he can afford to do that. But yeah, it's just, you know, when you get into the military, you know, you're just kind of solely focused on that, and they ensure that you're solely focused on that too,
yeah,
which, you know what I mean? You don't kind of realize that they're, you know, you get pushed in that direction. You know, all your other stuff is your hobbies. They would have issued it to you if they wanted you to have it, you know?
Oh my God. It's true.
Yeah. And even working in the civilian world is kind of the same way. Like, I do the same job, just different uniform as a civilian now, and it's the same way. You know,
yeah. Well, you're surrounded by a lot of veterans in that job as
well.
Oh
yeah. Everyone, pretty much, I would say 99% of the people I work with are either military or veterans. It's very rare that you get a civilian who's never, you know, been in the military in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
But majority of them have been around the military, which is good, you know, for us at least. So they've worked with the military. Like, I have one guy that was in the military, but he's worked for the military for like going on 20 years now. So
as a contractor or something.
Well, yeah, as a GS employee. So he, you know, so he's very aware of, like, you know, how to work as a team, how to work as, you know, basically almost a member of the military.
Yeah.
Know? He's very high speed, low drag.
No, and what makes it better for like working with someone in the military or a veteran or something like that, like in the music industry, it's easy to stay.
Honestly, I think it's just when you get the best thing is when you get frustrated.
Oh, yeah.
And you can call somebody, you know, a fucking asshole, and he's not gonna get butthurt about it. You know what I mean? Like, or if you need something done like right away, like most of the time military members are extremely focused on the mission that needs to get done. So if you give somebody a mission or a job, they're like, fuck yeah, I'm on it, and then they go and do it and get it done. This isn't everybody, you know what I mean? Like, please don't take offense if anybody's taking offense. This is just, in my experience, is like a lot of times it's at with just basic civilians, it's at their pace, and and want to ask a million questions of why or how. Where if you give it to a military person, it's like, this is the job. I'll figure out how to fucking do it.
Yeah, you don't have to understand why it needs to get done.
Yeah, quality, quantity, and timeliness of your work. Like that's in our EPRs and our report cards. That sort of shit. So I don't know. It's just all drilled in our head from day one of basic training, as working as a team and getting the fucking job done. Like, that's what we're there to do.
Exactly.
And so problem is excuse me, when maybe I shouldn't have ate that sandwich before I came
yeah.
But so the problem can be is where people aren't haven't had that ingrained in their DNA since they were 19 years old, and then you're working with that person, and then and you have to find a way to adapt as a military person. But I think that happens in, like, you can hear that in any interview with a military member. Like, the biggest change of going from military to civilian
absolutely
is is adapting to the civilian workforce, and it's run totally different. And it's the same thing with music. It's people think way differently than I think, and it's kind of on me at a point to adapt to that community. You know what I mean? It's tough, but
it's also a thing, like, you have a vision. Like, for me, for when I was in Satellites, like, I had this vision of we're gonna be on stage at Warped Tour, we're gonna headline the Palladium, we're gonna play the Middle East and play with these bigger bands. And I just had that, like, I mean, people believe in manifestation or whatever.
Yeah.
You, like, say it out into the world. My dad always used to say, like, say it out loud. If you really want it, say it out loud.
Yeah.
And that's, like, I just had that vision, and I think it was easier for me to chase that dream, that vision, whatever you want to call it. But then also, like, having that military background definitely helped me in, like, pushing me to get it done. Because I was just like, I know I want to get this done.
Yeah.
And then you
figuring it out.
Step 1, step 2, step 3, like, everything to get yourself there. Yeah,
because you've been dropped off in a deployed location, and you get the 10-minute spiel of welcome to, whatever the hell, Iraq.
Yeah.
And then they're like, deuces, we're on the Freedom Bird, and we're heading out
later.
And it's
away.
like, I don't even know where the fuck I'm at right now or how to get to anything. And you just figure it the fuck out. And which is cool, because, like, when you go from venue to venue or from place to place and you're doing shit, it's like you kind of trust in yourself that, like, oh, I'll figure it the fuck out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's not Iraq. We're cool. You know what I mean? There's no
right.
mortars.
Yeah,
I'm cool.
Anything's better than that.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, yeah. So it's like, not to be, like, cheesy or whatever, but, it's like, okay, I've been through worse. You know what I mean? Like,
exactly,
and I've made it through. I'll figure it the fuck out, and then we'll just adapt and overcome. You know what I mean? Adapt and overcome to personalities, venues, locations. If there's something wrong with the vehicle, if you forget something, whatever, dude. Because in this business, anything that can go wrong will go wrong. I think you've probably experienced that. I've experienced it. You just, I tell everybody, just be a professional and figure it the fuck out as quickly as possible. Get it done. You know what I mean?
Well, outside of just, like, military experience too, it's like, I mean, we might as well touch on bands a little bit. It's like, when I first started the band, I didn't so much look at it as, like, a business. I just thought of it as just, like, just a couple of guys playing music together. And then and there's nothing wrong with that. I've said this a million times, but like, if you want it to be a hobby where you just play music, there's nothing wrong with that. Like, go have fun.
Yeah.
Play some shows, make some friends, but if you want to be like on the big stage headlining these bigger, like if you wanted to headline Vinyl Music Hall, you got to have your shit together.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Definitely.
Like, it's an 800 cap room or so. It might be more than that.
Yeah. I think it's close. Well, it's close to 1,000. I'm pretty sure.
But if you think you're going to headline in 1,000 cap room,
you
know what I mean? So like, and I think a lot of people, when they start out, they're like, we're going to get there.
We're going to get on the big stage.
But they never have that conversation of like, okay, what's the first step to making ourselves ready to get to that point?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Let's not just jump on to vinyl. You know what I mean? Because you could shoot yourself in the foot right off the bat.
Yeah.
You're playing in front of, and that's the thing, like a lot of people think maybe like the band's going to stick around to watch you or something like that. There is a chance, that they might.
Yeah.
But a big part of it, they're doing interviews, they're prepping outside. They're not even
sleeping.
Yeah, or
getting
resting,
sleep,
getting ready
food,
for their show themselves. So, like you got the opportunity to open at Vinyl Music Hall. You've played at Club LA, and maybe you passed one of the band members, or maybe even the booking agent was there. You don't know. You never know who's in the room.
Yeah.
But that one guy could be your springboard to bigger things.
Yeah.
So if you do get that opportunity, like, by the grace of God, you get to open at Vinyl, and you're like a starting out band or something like that, and you just play horribly, well, you already screwed yourself out of great opportunities in the future. Like, you guys playing at Vinyl, you have your stuff together, but you played how many shows before that? You know what I
dude.
mean?
Like, what did we played Club LA, I think. You saw that in 2019? Was it? No, 2020. Was it 2020? I don't know.
Bad with time frame, dude.
I don't know, but it was how long have we known each other now? Like about a year and a half. So a year and a half, I would say. Well, that's 6 years basically. That we had played as a band in the local area.
Yeah.
Before we got our shot at Club LA, and to that point, like there were a lot of things that had to come together in order for me and my band to get on that stage. Like, it wasn't just, I sent an email in and I got on stage. Like, there was a lot of behind the scenes stuff happening at the same time. So, like, what they say, like, luck is like hard work and opportunity meeting. I can't remember what that saying is, but I'm sure people have heard it before.
Yeah, there's no like real thing as luck.
Yeah, it's not luck. It's like hard work
happen.
and an opportunity come together and create luck or whatever. But it was kind of like that. Like if I wasn't working with Downtown Music Hall, it wouldn't have happened. If I wouldn't have found all new members in the band after the military guys left, it wouldn't have happened. What else had to happen? Oh, I was talking to a promoter about another show, and I was talking to a radio DJ at the same time. And it all came together in one evening, and boom. And then it happened. So, like, there were 3 other things besides just me emailing the booking agent at Club LA.
Yeah.
In order to get that show. It wasn't just like, oh, yeah, man, I know the guy, and, that sort of thing. It was like I had to... Ian, the owner here, was talking to the promoter. I had talked to the promoter, the booking agent, just me working here. Like, I wouldn't have been able to talk to Ian if I wouldn't have been working and booking shows for him, metal shows for him, here. So it's like, yeah. So like, hard work, hard work and opportunity come together or whatever and create luck. And yeah, we got lucky that we got on that show, and it was big, and we've been asked back, and we've played vinyl like 3 times now. And trying to play other
But all
places
that started from you like putting in that hard work, meeting the right people.
Yeah, every time there's a show, you're emailing.
But and also, like you're confident in what you had to offer.
Yeah.
Like, and I think that's really important, is like being confident about your music. Because I think a lot of band members, like, and I say this all the time, I tell you this a lot too, as a manager, is like once a month get together and talk about what your final goal is, you know what I mean? And
yeah.
I think you guys have a very you know what you want.
Yeah.
And for you and for your band and things like that. But a lot of bands, like, you know, you have 5 guys that I could want to just play on the weekends and just have fun, or I could be the member that wants to be signed to like a huge label and touring the world.
Yeah.
And we're both in the same band together.
Yeah.
It's hard to really decide like where we're gonna go. Like one is holding back the other. You know what I mean?
Once you get some music out there and you want to like play shows and stuff, it immediately becomes a business.
Yeah,
it is no longer 16-year-old kids jamming at their parents' house. Like it becomes a business quicker than you think. Like, and you have to think of it like that from the get-go. Like everything matters. I remember when I started, we didn't get promo pics. We didn't get action shots. We didn't, have a very good logo right off the bat. And you're just like, oh, well, like I don't have merch. It's like whatever. Everything matters, from the table you're using to lights to, your performance on stage, not necessarily equipment you use. I mean, you want the good, good equipment, but like, you want to put on a show. You don't want to just be another band playing on stage. You want, like, everything matters. And you want to go from there to the merch table, take an effort into your merch table, into your merch, because that's how you're going to make most of your money anyways. Sorry, guys. It's not a lot of money to go around in the music scene.
This is something we will cover on other episodes too. Like everything that we're discussing now, we will expound upon in a further future episodes.
Yeah. And everything matters. Just everything matters. Just
for real.
As long as you take that and put, you don't have to stress about it, but like put thought into everything. Is this the best product that we're putting out at this time? I get it. Like, you can't buy the best shirts or the best hats or the best, anything. But, like, is this the best product we can put out right now, for everything, Don't just be satisfied with pushing 2 chairs together and draping a T-shirt over the top of it that Hanes T-shirt that you... gotten.
You might not have much, but at least make it look good. Yeah.
Don't be satisfied with that. If that's all you can do, that's fine. But the second you get some money behind you that you can do better, do better. Always try to do better. Always in your music, in your image, in the way you dress on stage, your merch table, your websites, everything. Try to do better the next time you do it.
It's actually... Talking about that, so I worked for a video company. We made music videos, and one of my things was our online presence didn't really have a lot of really good crafted either photos, videos, whatever. And we were sitting around Red cameras. We had DSLR cameras, and I'm like, how do we not have the most professional looking photos, most professional looking videos?
Yeah.
I mean, because we got to look legit if we're trying to sell this to other people.
Yeah.
And that goes hand in hand with music as well. It's like, you have everything at your disposal. Make it the best you can, like you're saying, until you get the right equipment to. Yeah. But I was just, it was funny to me because I'm looking around like, damn, this,
we have all the
$10,000 cameras and we have terrible quality photos online. Yeah, that doesn't make any sense at all. You got to make yourself look good before you can really...
Yeah, you're trying to say that you're going to put out a good product, but the product you're using to
exactly.
promote yourself isn't even good. So, yeah, I feel that.
Yeah. No, I think that's really important. Are you keeping time of this?
Not really. I mean, kind of. I was looking at my watch just a second ago, just seeing how far we've gone.
Hopefully we're actually recording and not everything is turned off at this point.
I know. I'm worried.
It's fine. I mean, we might as well run through it on our own, right? See how it goes. Yeah. And this is our first episode to see, really feel out how this is all going to work. So, and I think, like I said, you and I will go off on tangents and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. We mostly want to stay on topic, and a lot of the stuff that we've even just shot the shit out about, we will have further episodes on.
Yeah.
Because I would love to get your experience with with, you know, like merch and things like that. Like
Yeah.
you could spend a whole episode on that.
Oh yeah.
On things like just silly things like whether you want to make merch on your own, if you want to learn how to silkscreen and all those other things that go along with it.
Yeah.
But and I think it's really important to like do things on
Yeah.
your own and learn the ins and outs, because a lot of people will complain about like, oh, this is terrible quality, and it's like,
Yeah.
you know, well, you're getting what you pay for. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Some of the time. So
The overall for that is not necessarily like merch. It's just everything you do. You know, if you love doing this and you want to do it, like treat it like you love it and you want to do it. Like everything, you know, try to put out the best product and just understand. And people will understand, especially other bands. For the most part, you know, you're gonna have some assholes out there, but for the most part, you know, you're gonna have people that are gonna understand that like this is the best that we can do at the moment.
yeah, exactly.
And but you know, like, but 2 shows down the road, you know, if you had a merch table with no tablecloth, well, you know, make sure you get a black tablecloth just to you know, spruce it up a little bit. It doesn't cost that much, you know. Just take some money out of a guarantee or you know your merch sales and go get yourself a tablecloth. So it looks a little bit better, you know, and then each step of the way, you just keep improving. It's the same thing with your music, you know, or anything that you do in this. If you book shows, if you manage bands, everything, just try to get better each go around.
Absolutely.
And know that you're going to make mistakes. But the cool thing about mistakes is you're going to learn from them.
Yeah,
So don't make the same one again, you know?
I mean, and that's a good reason why we wanted to start this too. You know,
Yeah.
if we could help one person that's like in a band and struggling
Yeah.
and having a hard time making decisions or whatever. And this is good for, you know, we've dealt with every personality probably in the music industry where it's like we've worked with this guy, I can't get along with them, whatever.
Yeah.
And or you know, you have your go-getters and your kind of dudes that are just there to just be there, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
you just have every personality, but a lot of like what we'll talk about in the future is just like maybe silly hiccups that happen to us that are very avoidable, you know?
Oh, yeah.
And just like silly stuff that we never would have thought of, you know?
Yeah.
Like there's so much, like, as I'd say this, I just think of all the dumb things that I've done along the way to get, even just here, you know what I mean? Like, or even just to be in a band to start, you know? It's just there's so many things I did wrong. There's a lot I did right, you know, and hopefully in the however many episodes we decide to do on this, people can understand, like, you know, this is what I don't do, you know. It's kind of a cheat code for, you know, because I'm still going to make mistakes moving forward, you know, and especially being a manager, there's things like, there's decisions I'll make that maybe I'll be like, damn, I wish, you know, we did this a little bit differently.
And that's fine. Like for anybody, for managers, bands, booking agents, they're going to be, but like if your heart's in the right place and you're trying to do the right thing and you're trying to do the best you can, then fuck it. You know, like you're going to make mistakes, you know, like shit fucking happens.
Yeah.
You're going to go from in this industry, you're going to go from cloud 9 to the feeling like absolute dog shit. It could happen. It happened to me in a weekend with booking shows. I went from having a hugely successful show on a Friday to on a Monday, 5 people being in the fucking venue. And I didn't do anything different. I promoted the same way. I got quality bands on here, and it just happened that it was the wrong day. It was a Monday, and it was coming off a 4-day weekend, and nobody was out. And nobody wanted to come out because they had already gone out for the weekend for 3 days. So it's like, you know, it freaking happens, man.
Yeah.
So don't let it, you know, don't let it get you down too much. Just keep moving on, you know. And you know, if you're in the, like if you're in the right place and you're you know trying to do good, you know, then you shouldn't feel bad about it or, you know, get discouraged. It's like sometimes things like that happen and you can't, things are out of your control, man. Like it just is what it is, you know.
Yeah.
But that's the music industry. Cloud 9 one day, and I mean, look at how many one-hit wonders there are out there.
Yeah, no.
People hated Limp Bizkit for I don't know how long.
And they're still
my guilty pleasure. I love
around,
Limp Bizkit, and
mine too. Yeah.
And now look at them; they're right back on top, and you know, like on that top line of lineups for festivals and stuff. and they were the joke of the town for how many years now? Like, you know?
Yeah, they never
20
fell
years.
Off, though.
Well,
they
were still
everybody like,
Limp Bizkit, you know, and then then all of a sudden, you know, they're back headlining tours basically.
Yeah, better than ever.
Yeah, headlining festivals. So, yeah.
And that's something like on the festival front too. Is like we want to get, I think this is a good time to just like if you're a venue owner or if you work at a venue or you do anything in the music industry or anything like that, we would love to sit down with you and just talk.
Yeah, have a conversation. Yeah,
you know, there's a lot of things that maybe you and I don't really understand as like a venue owner or as a booking agent. Like you're getting into booking.
Yeah.
And
still learning, yes.
Even just you and I sat down to try and book a tour, and both of us were just like, "What are we?
Yeah.
How does this work?
Yeah.
You know,
how does
why is no one returning our emails?
Why isn't this coming together at all?
Yeah. And we've talked to successful booking agents that have those relationships that know how to do that stuff. There's just a lot of like this is just a call out to anyone that wants to join the show that maybe has any interest in talking about what they've been through in some sort of way. Like I said, you and I will talk a lot about things that we've been through that have maybe worked and didn't work. So like, and I know I have tons of friends out there that have done really cool things and a lot of friends that have maybe made those mistakes but are higher up than where even they thought that they would be. So
I think if we can do that for this podcast and for these conversations, that's the one thing that really interests me. And I think when we were talking about doing this is the behind the scenes stuff that people don't think about, you know?
Absolutely, yeah.
Because I just remember, like I've told you many times, I remember being the local band, not bringing anybody to a show and then sitting there with my hand out, you know, and then wondering why they can't pay me $100 to, you know, but getting into working with venues now, and you start to realize there are ghosts in this room. Oh, it's Ian.
There it goes.
Ian, it's not your turn yet. It's not your turn yet. Soon, though. Soon. Getting into, you know, just seeing the behind-the-scenes stuff of what it takes to put on a show just for one day.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the amount of money that goes into this for just
opening the doors.
Just one day for opening the doors it put me in my place really quickly, and understanding, you know, venue owners, and especially coming out of COVID, because it's all changed now. It's
that's true.
It's very changed, and you know
that's actually a great point too. Is like something maybe we can touch on as well, because it's like how have you been able to keep the doors open through all this time with not hosting shows and
Netflix sucks. Come out to shows.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah, get off your ass.
At least you can talk to people and get to know people in your community. You know what I mean? Like, and that might have like-minded interests. So, Netflix sucks. I mean, they're not showing Stranger Things right now, so it's cool.
Oh my god! There's no hit shows.
You know what
right
I mean?
Now.
Game of Thrones is over. Let's go. Let's listen to music.
No, it's true. And as we've like learned and come to understand, there's so much more we can learn from anyone in the industry. So that's why we would love to have anybody come sit with us. And it's a great point. Like, you know, obviously we want this to reach as many people as we can, whether it be just friends, family, other people in the music industry, military friends, whatever. Yeah. Because we want to touch all those bases. I mean, we called it Mosh Vets for a reason. We used to mosh. Now we're old.
Yeah, we don't do that. Yeah.
And you know, I don't want to just say that, you know, we're just here to support metal music and things like that. We want to touch all the bases, whether it be hip hop, you know, metal. We're staying away from country. Sorry, but
we're not.
Like anything else.
Not our thing, man.
Anything else, but you know, we're just any genre. We would love to have you on the show. Any venue, whether big or small, would love to have you on the show.
Yeah, definitely.
And I think there's something to be learned from anybody. You know, it's just as much as we don't know, it'd be cool to teach other people, because I mean, like you said, there's just so much that goes into just even one show. You know, and once it sells out, what happens now? Like what?
Yeah.
just things I don't really.
Another thing is too is like, are you on the right track? Like, if you talk to people like marketing and booking agents and stuff like that, and then you're booking or marketing your band, and I know I was just doing it at first and not knowing what the hell I was doing. I still really don't know what the hell I'm doing. I kind of know a little bit about nothing, but yeah, like I had a conversation with a booking agent, and he made me realize that I was not there yet because I didn't have all the everything that went behind it. But like he showed me that I was on the right track, like I was thinking correctly.
Yeah,
which is a great thing to know. Is like, okay, I am thinking correctly when I'm trying to do this. It's just I don't have the ability or the funds. Usually, it's the funds to do it correctly. So as long as you know that you're like, okay, if I can just get here, it's like one foot in front of the other.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
I know I'm thinking correctly. Now I just need to figure out how I need to get here, and then I need to figure out how to get here, and then I can do this. You know what I mean?
And hopefully this show helps people along the way,
And that was like the most interesting thing about starting this thing up is like we both had the idea of talking to venue owners, and I'm like, cool, I get to like, how the hell did Ian become a venue owner? He just went from a kid in high school, that was friends with my brother, that I barely knew, to now we're friends and he owns a venue, and like, how the fuck did he get here? And he's got several other businesses. Like, how do you start that? I mean, I just went in the military and then I started playing guitar, you know what I mean? It's like, I have no idea. The same thing with other clubs and stuff around here, like bigger clubs. Like, how the hell did you do that?
Yeah,
how did you go from just being a regular guy eating McDonald's to,
hosting these
these huge shows, man. The Sanger Theater in Pensacola and like the Wharf, I guess.
What's crazy about that too is like, I mean, I know the answer we're gonna get. They're just normal people, man.
Yeah.
Like, and that's the thing with us is like, you probably never. I mean, I shouldn't say never, but like, I didn't see myself playing at the Palladium when I was a kid.
Yeah.
When I was like 16, I used to go there and I watched Slipknot and stuff, and I'm like, man, that is so cool.
So cool.
And then next thing you know, years and years later, I'd make the right decisions and I'm up there, playing on that stage. It's like, but I was just a normal kid in high school, that just decided to join the military just to get my. It's like any, profession that you decide to do, but I think even more in music, it's just really challenging to get your foot in the door and for any opportunity, really. It's just, but if you know what you want to do, you can get it done.
Yeah, you can get it done. It may not be exactly what you want.
Exactly, yeah.
So keep that in mind, but it definitely, you can get something done and you can do things, I never thought I would have music out on streaming platforms.
For real, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it almost seemed like an impossible thing to do. Like, you have to be signed to get on Spotify.
Yeah, we've done four
or
music videos, 2 live videos, and then 2 actually, actual official music videos. I never like watching Hot for Teacher, Eddie Van Halen, Hot for Teacher in Panama and shit. Back in the '80s. Now I'm dating myself, and then I never thought that I could do that. I thought I would need hundreds of thousands of dollars and a label and all that sort of stuff. And now you can do it. Like, to me, it's freaking amazing to think that we've filmed music videos on our own, basically. For the most part, we've just basically done it on our own. We hired some videographers for the first one. We did it the second one on our own. We've recorded an EP and an album at my house, in my bedroom, my office.
Yeah.
Which is out on streaming platforms, and people have listened to it. You can go listen to it now on Spotify, Worthy of the Crown. But I just never thought, that was a possibility at all, ever. Like, I never thought I don't know.
No, it's true.
Like, it's so crazy to me. And I think another reason, like we were talking about, like working with people in the music industry, like I think that people now are so accustomed to that being able to do that, like knowing that, like, oh yeah, we can just record in our bedroom and send it off to somebody, and yeah, there you go. And they're just to me, I'm just like, holy shit, I can do this. Like I can do this till the day I die now. Like it's so crazy I can do that shit. I don't have to go into a studio. I can just do it right from home, and boom, it's out there. Like people can hear it. People can listen to it. Same thing with this thing. Like, look what the fuck we're doing.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
When we were coming up, when we were young, you would have had to have a whole crew and a network, and we're putting this out with some cameras and some cheap lighting off of Amazon. You know what I mean? You brought a computer in here, and we've got some microphones. That to me to me, I just think I'm kind of lucky that I can actually do this, and it doesn't require, tons of stuff in order to do it. I'm just blown away by it all the time. Like,
yeah, no,
so
absolutely.
I feel very lucky just for the small amount of success that I've had. Very small amount of success, but just eternally grateful that like I went to see shows when I wasn't playing music at vinyl, and things like that, and I've gotten to play vinyl. I've gotten to step on the same stage as some of the people that I love in the music industry. I mean, Veil of Maya, After the Burial, I've not maybe shared the stage with them, but I've stepped on the same stage they stepped on, and to me that's fucking cool.
Hell yeah.
Maybe that's cheesy as fuck, but I mean, to me it means something. It's super, super cool. And every day, like, doing this thing, the ups and downs of the music industry, like, that's all. Anytime I get down, I just think about that, and, like, that means a lot to me. And, like, all I've wanted to ever do is just play guitar on a stage and actually have people respond to it.
And that's a big reason why we started this. Like, we want to hear other people that are, that are in the bigger bands, how they got to where they are, and how they feel about it now too. Because we did that. We're so thankful for like even that just like small amount of success. Yeah. But then you look at these guys that are just killing it, that are on like these full U.S. tours and things. Like, that they're grateful. You know what I mean? But then I would love to just sit down and just pick their brain on like the little things that got you here. Did you ever expect to be sitting? Playing this show. You know, like.
What's cool? What I always found was cool, and I still find it cool to this day, is like when you, because we don't have like all of the streams. We don't collect all of the streams on Spotify. We're pretty good for a local band, I guess. But like when you just see like 5 people in Iceland listen to your fucking song, and you're like, there's people in Iceland like streaming our shit. Like, somebody in Iceland, I don't even know anybody in Iceland except for like what was it, Hathor or whatever, the mountain or whatever from Game of Thrones or whatever. It's like, geez, man, like there's people in Israel listening to our shit. That's fucking cool.
Yeah, it's weird.
It's weird, like that somebody all the way across the world is listening to you, even if it's one person. I always thought, and I always thought it was cool that like even if they, like everybody's like, yeah, man, sometimes you have to play to bar staff or just 1 or 2 people. Like, it happens, and I've been there. I always think it's cool that 1 or 2 people came. Like, even if it's 1 or 2 people, like 1 or 2 people paid to get in here to see me play.
Right.
Like,
just
that's
to see me. Like,
like that's fucking cool. Like, I used to be in my my room just playing with myself and fucking just jamming, Metallica albums and shit like that, and trying to figure that shit out, and nobody was listening. And now, like, 1 person came out to see me. Hell yeah, fuck yeah! Hopefully I'll give you the best show that I can. You know what I mean? So to me, I try to stay always optimistic when it comes to. So maybe that's the first fucking topic of the show is like, just stay optimistic in this thing.
Stay humble.
Stay humble and optimistic. Like, enjoy it, man, because it doesn't fucking last forever, dude. It doesn't last forever. And metal too, is such a niche market, and rock music is such a niche market now too, that like, if you want to be in a band and you want to do this shit, who knows where it's going to go in the future, man. You know what I mean? So enjoy every freaking fucking moment of it, dude. Like, it's super cool. Not everybody does this shit, Yeah,
not everybody has what it takes to even even learn how to play guitar in the first place. You know what I mean?
Two is like, I remember when I first started this, I would get like people would be like, oh, you're in a metal band, roll their eyes at the shit, and 7 years later, I've same people fucking ask me how my metal band's doing, like are genuinely interested in what I'm doing, which is fucking cool. That people, I think too, because I'm very passionate about this and about like the scene and shows and venues and bands and trying to do the best I can at every turn. I think they see that too, which has helped. But yeah, it's just funny to see people go from like roll their eyes, like, oh, the old man's trying to do something. It's like,
we see a lot of memes like that where it's like, you don't support me in like when I'm like at my lowest, and then when you're at your highest, everyone's like, oh, hey,
we get free tickets. Can I get on the guest list?
But I also understand that mindset too, because like, especially maybe with our music too, it's like people will listen to it and be like, hey, maybe it's not their style, and then they see you doing well and they're like, oh, all right, cool, but they're not in it because it's not their thing, so and I think I wanted to ask you this because I think it's good for the podcast, but like, and because like we're here in Fort Walton, we're here at Downtown Music Hall, like this place has sold out before. They've had shows here where they've been big enough where what's the cap on this room?
500.
500?
Yeah.
So there's been 500 people in this room a few times.
Yeah.
And like a lot of people will say in this area or even like smaller markets, like this is a small market, so but a lot of people will say like, oh, the scene sucks or whatever, or like, there's not a lot of bands, or there's, just whatever. A lot of people want to put down their local scene. And my problem with that, and especially when it comes from like, when I was in Eyes on Satellites, and we were from Boston, if I ever said like, oh, this scene sucks, well, I'm part of that, dude. Like I suck. You know what I mean? In a way. Because like if this scene sucks, I'm part of it. Not saying I run it, you know, or anything like that, but I am part of it.
Yeah.
So let's do something to fix that. You know? And I think a lot of people, instead of putting in the work to make it better, they just want to shoot it down.
Yeah.
But look, Die Art Is Murder just sold out vinyl. You got August Burns Red sold out vinyl. You got Club LA, Ice Nine Kills sold out Club LA.
Lorna Shore is coming in April, and they sold out in less than a day.
So there's
the scene is here
that just listen to your kind of music.
Just got to come out.
Well, it's not. That's my thing too, though. So like that's a good point where it's like I see a lot of people that post on Facebook or on Instagram, Twitter, whatever, saying like support your local scene and stuff like that. But I also think it's important to. It's like saying like come to my local mom and pop shop. Well, why? Like, why is it any better than going to another like a bigger place, or maybe I like this place and I want to just keep going there. But you gotta sell something that catches people's ears and makes them want to come out. Because I think a lot of the time people feel like I play in a band, so you have to come see me. Well, it doesn't work like that. I could start a business. Like say I want to be a mechanic like my father, and I open my own business, but every car I fix, they drive away and it squeaks. Yeah. Well, they're not going to want to come back to me. You know what I mean? Like you have to have quality work, and you got to promote yourself. You got to. I think it all just comes down to the product itself. Yeah. Like if you said earlier you work with what you have, that's fine. Yeah. So then you got to also set a boundary of like, well, we only did so much. We only have a 5-song EP. Yeah. All right, 10 people might come out to see us. Yeah. And we recorded on our basement. None of us know anything about recording or production or anything like that, so it doesn't sound that great. But if 10 people come out to see us, awesome. You know, like set the bar. Because you look at other bands that are in the local scene, like that Until I Wake show that's coming. I know they're a signed band, too. They're a little bit bigger, but they have a following out here that they have people coming out to their shows that, you know what I mean? Like they're still like a smaller band, but like but the quality of their work is really good.
Yeah.
You know, the production is really good, the songwriting is really good, and that's what gets people to come out to the show.
Yeah.
Because they're writing catchy hooks and stuff that people really enjoy, you know?
Yeah.
And that's my biggest thing on the local scene when people start talking down on it is like, well, what are you doing to make it better? Because you could be the biggest band in that local scene.
Yeah.
Now you're controlling it. You know, it's like, hey, this band's really good. Like, start promoting each other. Work together, you know?
Yeah.
And I see a lot locally. I mean, it didn't really happen in Boston. We had a lot of, like, really good friends. Like, a lot of the bands up there were just all kind of interconnected.
Yeah.
I feel that way down here, too. But I also think, like, a lot of people, they want to put it down instead of working hard to build it up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's easier to, like, kick something once it's down than, like, pick it up and build it back up. And you know what I'm saying? So I feel like that's the social media culture anyway. But I think even more importantly, like, if you want to make this a career in the music scene and things like that, like, you got to do what you can to build it up and build it up strong with other supporting bands, because you guys are going to tour together in the future, you know? Like, you've done a good job of that, making friends with Rivers. You've made friends with Transit, like all these other bands that are like local to like Alabama,
levels out of Arkansas.
Exactly. Yeah. So there's a lot of bands just down here in the Southeast that you know, you could be working together with.
And to that point, like, not just bands, like, I was making a point, we're like running hell long now, but like, I was making a point to go into venues and like immediately upon getting there, talk to the booking agent or whoever got us on that show, and thanking everyone. Like, thank you, the bar staff, thank the sound guy, thank the light guy, thank the tour manager, thank the bands that are on tour. Talk to the bands that are on tour, see if they need anything in your hometown. Like, be a nice, genuine person, and thank everybody's doing a job, and everybody's trying to, you know, make, you know, not only the performance good, but trying to make a living. You know?
Absolutely.
And eventually, hopefully, you can get to the point where you're making a living off of music. But, like, thank everyone. Be respectful of everybody. And cut people some slack. And, you know, like, when you go into, I think you told me, is like, too, is like, when you go into a venue, you're on duty, man. Like,
yeah, absolutely.
Like, talk to people, mingle, you know, show them a little bit of your personality. It's okay to be like a little bit of a rock star, but don't be a dick, you know. But, you know, like, I get that there's different personas for different bands and stuff like that, but, like, be there for the people that are, you know, come out to pay their hard-earned money, you know, to see you play, like, or buy one of your T-shirts. Like, be available for them. I know for a lot of people, it's hard, you know. Like, people got, you know, things going on in their life that, you know, might make them uncomfortable doing stuff like that. But, you know, you got to kind of push yourself out of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
You already push yourself out of your comfort zone to play guitar, drums, bass, or vocals. Why can't you sit behind a merch desk, or, you know, or walk around a fucking venue and talk to people? You know, it's uncomfortable for me, and, you know, but I force myself to do it. But like, seriously, like, thank everybody.
Yeah.
When you go into,
I'm glad you said that too, because it's like the people that work behind the bar and you know, even the people in the crowd. That's your scene.
Yeah,
you know, like, all of these people are contributing,
and they talk
to your local scene.
Yeah. Like, they talk to people.
Yeah, I actually, one of the shows I just worked recently, one of the bartenders was like, "We have to have this band back in the group chat," and it's silly things like that's how we got invited back to the Palladium.
Yeah,
it was just I said hello to everyone, and, like, I don't know if I always, like, hope I'm very optimistic. You know what I mean? And I like making people laugh and smile and things like that. So, like, when I got to the venue, I'm just like, "Hey, what's up, everybody?" Like, I'm Dave. Like, nice to meet you. And then also, like, they don't know who I am. Like, walking in the door, they don't know I'm in the band. They might see my wristband. They see, okay, it's like a different color than everybody else's, but, like, I don't know this guy. Yeah. But if you walk up and you say, like, I'm Justin from Worthy, or I'm Dave from Eisenstadt, whatever, it's like, it makes that personal connection. Yeah. And I see it a lot where, I mean, to your point, like, I would say hi to everyone. Like, every single person that walks into the venue, because, like, they could walk away. Maybe they have a great following on Instagram, or they have like tons of friends that would love to come to a show like this.
Yeah.
That maybe the music tonight isn't that good, but they check out my band, they love us, and they come see us. So I think it's really important to, whether you have flyers or whatever, which we'll talk about in the future. I don't want to go down that road yet, but I think we've covered a lot of the stuff that we wanted to talk about. I think
we should probably wrap this up. I think. I don't even know if the stuff's still recording.
For real.
Well, let's wrap it up.
Yeah, so anyway, this is our first episode of Mosh Vets.
Yeah, Mosh Vets, dude.
We're definitely going to try and schedule probably like once a week, every 2 weeks or something.
Yeah, like, share, subscribe, and shit.
What's that?
Like, share, subscribe.
Like, share, and subscribe. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
We'll have to cut this up a little bit, but I think we covered everything we wanted to talk about. Like I said, we just wanted this to be like an initial
kind of
introduction. Obviously, you can see we like to talk about music. We can cover so many different things. We'd love to, like I said, if you're a photographer, if you're a booking agent, if you're in a band, if
venue owners
are passionate about music, maybe you want to start a band, you'd like to be on here to talk about like things that you're passionate about, whatever. It doesn't matter. We want to sit down and talk with whoever we can, and just have guests on the show and learn, or and teach too, in a way, you know. So, and just a shout out to Griffin. He's gonna do photos and stuff for us. Like, I'd love to have him on to chat about that and stuff too.
Yeah, definitely. We got a couple of really good photographers in the area.
Exactly. Dee.
Dee. Dude. Like, just conversations, man.
Yeah, learning from them how they got to where they are now, and all the people they've taken photos for, and it's just going to be cool to learn all this stuff. So if you're into photography or into anything in the music industry, we want to cover it. So
heck yeah.
So thank you for watching, listening,
sick,
whatever.
Yeah, thank you. See you next time.
Peace.
Later.
Bite my nails until they just